Let me ask you something. What if everything we were told about the Maui wildfires was only half the truth? Or worse, what if the real story was never meant to come out at all? Because in the ashes of Lahaina, something doesn't sit right. Today we're diving into the top 5 most controversial, most talked about conspiracies surrounding the Maui wildfires. And whether you're a hardcore conspiracy theorist or just someone who loves asking what if, this episode is for you. Let's start with the one that lit the internet on fire. Number 1, the direct energy weapons theory. When footage surfaced of blue beams in the sky before the fires, people lost their minds. Some believed these were just camera flares. Others, they claimed they were proof that Lahaina was targeted by directed energy weapons, or DWs, high-powered lasers from satellites or military aircraft capable of sparking destruction from above without warning. Crazy? Maybe. But then the pattern of the burn started to raise eyebrows. Steel and concrete buildings turned to rubble, while oddly enough, many blue-colored objects were left untouched. Cars melted to their frames, but trees still stood. And in the age of AI-enhanced image analysis, people began comparing satellite shots and infrared data, and asking, why did the fire move that way? Why were some properties spared, while others were completely incinerated? Was this just nature or precision? 2. Lahaina was too valuable to be left to the locals. The land. That's what it always comes back to. Lahaina was once the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom. Sacred ground. Generations of Hawaiian families lived there for centuries, but after the fire, suddenly rumors began spreading that private investors, developers, and corporations were already trying to buy up scorched land, and fast. It felt like disaster capitalism in real time. Locals were reporting cold calls from mainland buyers, asking if they'd be willing to sell. Some claim this fire wasn't just a tragedy, it was an opportunity. A cleansing. Not by nature, but by design. Because Lahaina sat on prime real estate, and those with money and power had long had their eyes on it. And if you wanted to remove generations of local ownership without political backlash, well, a fire might just do the trick. 3. The sirens that never sounded. Here's the part that no one can make sense of. Hawaii has one of the most advanced outdoor emergency alert systems in the world. It's tested regularly, everyone hears it, tourists, locals, everyone. But on the day the fire swept through Lahaina, those sirens were silent, not one sounded, not one. Emergency officials later said they chose not to activate them because people might have run inland. But to residents, many of whom only survived by jumping into the ocean, that explanation felt hollow. In a state that's constantly prepared for hurricanes, tsunamis, even missile threats, how does the system just go dark? Some believe it was sabotage. Others think it was intentional suppression to minimize panic. And then there's a darker theory that the silence was the point, because confusion breeds chaos, and chaos creates cove. Number 4, was the government testing something? Here's where things get even deeper. Some theorists point to timing, August 2023, a season marked by rising global tensions, military tests, and climate emergency drills. Maui had recently undergone smart city initiatives, and parts of Lahaina were already being looked at for modernization programs tied to sustainable infrastructure. And then, a fire wipes out the area most resistant to outside control. What if this was part of a test? To study public response, to accelerate rebuilds with new tech, to implement AI surveillance under the guise of safety? In the days after the fire, FEMA arrived, drone footage was restricted, and media coverage became limited. Why? Some say it was to prevent looters, others say it was to hide something, and if that something was a military-grade experiment, no one was going to admit it. 5. The hidden hand, from Oprah to the elite. And finally, we can't ignore the elephant in the room. Why were certain properties owned by celebrities and high-profile individuals untouched? Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, and other billionaires have ties to Maui. Some of them own massive estates, yet their homes survived without a scratch. Was it just luck? Or something else? It didn't help when Oprah showed up days later, trying to donate supplies, and only to be denied access by locals who didn't want to be used for a media moment. To some, this was the ultimate proof of elite insulation. The rich and powerful were protected, while the working class burned. And when theories emerged that black fences were being put up to block off views of the destruction, it fueled even more suspicion. What are they hiding? Why is access restricted? And why do those with wealth always seem to be one step ahead? So what really happened in Lahaina? Maybe it was just a tragic wildfire, a perfect storm of dry winds, climate change, and emergency system failure, or maybe it was something far more intentional. We may never get a straight answer. But one thing's for sure, the people of Lahaina and Hawaii as a whole deserve the truth. And as long as questions remain, it's our job to keep asking them. Because when history is written by those in power, it's up to us to remember the stories they'd rather we forget. Stay curious, stay questioning, and never stop looking deeper. This is Hawaii Untold. See you in the next one.